Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the third edition of In Light of the Queen, a Black History Month series. Come on in, come on in, come on in. You already know what to do. Like, click, subscribe, and share. Tell all your girlfriends to come on in. Go ahead and share this on your page. Start a watch party if you want, because we are going to go a little deeper into the In Light of the Queen, a Black History Month series. And so, as you all have known, my name is Tiffany Devon, and I am a certified life coach, and I'm a wardrobe stylist that styles leaders and influencers in fearless fashions. And woo, can I be honest with y'all? Can I really be honest with y'all? Good evening, everyone. It has been a hellacious week here in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. And so I just really want to be able to speak to the fact that this has been a very trying time for all of us. And I don't know where everyone is or how much you've been affected. We've all been affected. Some of us have been without water. Some of us have been without lights. And so this has really been a trying time on our mental and our emotional health, and no one has been not been affected. So if you're watching even outside of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, I'm pretty sure it's been unprecedented cold weather everywhere across the United States. And I just want to ask that you just always keep us in prayers, and that more than ever, we need leaders that are actually going to lead us and have make wise decisions, and not be leading from self, but leading from the place of people. And so I just really wanted to speak to that, because it's been a very trying week, even for myself. But nevertheless, we press through, right? Which is why I created Silhouette of a Queen in the first place. I wanted to be able to speak to women who did not always feel like they were valued, did not feel like they were seen, did not feel like they were heard, but yet God still has kept you here, and you still keep pressing, you still keep making your way, you're making waves and whatever you do, and don't ever think that your life is not significant. Even if people don't always congratulate you and give you the praise, God does. God sees all, and in due time, you will be able to see why you've had to go through everything that you go through, right? And so, just like the women that I've been honoring in the In Light of the Queen series, they too had to persevere through some of the most trying times. And that's why I said In Light of the Queen, because we get to stand in 2021, we get to look back over their life and stand in their life and pull nuggets from their life to be able to see how they made it through, how they got through, how they were able to stand through at birth situations and birth businesses and birth movements, and knew that their life was bigger than just a paycheck, that they were also able to turn around and help another woman. And so this is why I do what I do. This is why we're here, because we have to see that our life is so much bigger than us, and we are here to make an impact on those that are around us. So I just hope that even after tonight, that this serves as a light in your life as to what you can do, who you can become in a very dark season, which is what we're walking through now. And I believe in this present time, this is where you're going to start seeing people that have been in the foreground. You're going to start seeing them come to the forefront, because they have been prepared in the secret place, and God is launching people to come forward because they carry solutions that we need in this day. So without further ado, thank y'all for coming in again. And I am just going to get started tonight. Again, I already said Silhouette of a Queen is for a powerful and resilient woman who has yet to be seen, felt, or heard. And so when we think of a silhouette, we think of an image that is still yet being formed, is still yet becoming. I'm still yet becoming. I'm still I'm being challenged. I'm evolving. Like, I'm not even the same person yesterday. Like, the things that we go through shape our vision. We have so many opportunities to fold, but as queens, we keep evolving and becoming the woman that God designed to be. So that's what I think of when I think of a silhouette. It's just thinking of a woman that's emerging and taking her place. And so when we think about a crown crown represents responsibility, represents headship and growing in your maturity, in your giftings, in your talents, in your emotions as a woman. We are continuing to evolve, and so just redefining our lives. And I just want to thank you guys again for coming in tonight. And it's not going to be a long segment, but we are going to be sharing and talking about the story and the life of Madam C.J. Walker and Florence Flo-Jo Griffith-Joyner. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and get started in the life of Miss Madam C.J. Walker. And give me one moment to get this kind of pulled up here. And again, welcome to Black History Month in Light of the Queen, a Black History Month series. So, Miss Madam C.J. Walker. Some of you I know are very familiar with Madam C.J. Walker. She was the first woman and self-made millionaire in America. Can you believe that? And she was born December 23rd, 1867, and she died May 25th, 1919, at 52 years old. She was an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, political and social activist. And these are just some quick facts about Madam C.J. Walker. A quote that she said that I just really loved is, "My object in life is not simply to make money for myself or to spend it on myself in dressing or running around in an automobile, but I love to use a part of what I make in trying to help others." Isn't that something? Even during the time that she was living in, she knew her life was more than just dressing up and looking fancy. So let's go dive into Miss Madam C.J. Walker's life. She was born as Sarah Breedlove in Delta, Louisiana, to enslaved parents who had 6 children. She was the first child in her family to be born into freedom after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. She was orphaned at the age of 7 after her mother died of cholera, an epidemic that was prevalent during that time. Her father remarried, but died a year later. And at the age of 10, she moved in with her sister and brother-in-law. At the age of 14, she married her first husband, and to this union, her daughter Alayla was born on June 6, 1885. When her daughter was 2, her husband died in 1887, leaving her a widow. She remarried in 1894, but left her second husband around 1903. In 1906, she married Charles Joseph Walker, a newspaper advertising salesman. It was during this marriage she became known as Miss Charles Joseph Walker after her third husband. Madame was adopted from women pioneers of the French beauty industry, and it was then that she became known as Madame C.J. Walker. It was common during her era for Black women to suffer severe dandruff and baldness associated to skin disorders and the application of harsh products to cleanse hair and clothes. Madam C.J. Walker became an agent for Annie Malone, an African-American hair care entrepreneur. Sales were a disappointment for Annie since the African-American community were greatly ignored. While working for Annie, Walker began developing her own products. Later, Annie would accuse Walker of stealing her formula, and a huge rival between the two followed. Walker would sell her products door to door and later opened her own hair salon, factory, and house to train her sales agents. In the height of her career, she employed several thousand women as sales agents for her products. She taught Black women how to budget, build their own businesses, and encouraged them to become financially independent. As Walker's wealth and notoriety increased, so did her philanthropic efforts. She pledged $5,000, which would have been the equivalent of $77,000 in today's time, to the NAACP's anti-fund. At the time, it was the largest gift from an individual that the NAACP had ever received. Walker bequeathed nearly $100,000 to orphanages, institutions, and individuals. Her will directed 2/3 of future net profits of her estate to charity. In 1998, The United States Postal Service issued a stamp of Walker as part of its Black Heritage series. Walker's life was also portrayed in the 2020 Netflix TV show Self-Made, featuring actress Octavia Spencer portraying Walker. So again, we look into her life in the late 1800s. And as I was reading her life, and I even watched the Self-Made series just recently, I was just blown away by the time that she lived in and her tenacity and her willingness to never not give up. She was determined to not live her life in such a way that was in a state of poverty around that time. And so she was such an advocate for women. I love the fact that she taught thousands of women how to budget, how to become business owners. You know, that was unheard of, and especially in a Black woman during that time. So she possessed a level of independence that inspired other women to action. Even though she was married, she could have easily just settled for the life of being a wife, you know, raising children, making sure that the meal is on the table at a certain time, which so many women during that time were groomed for it. But she saw an opportunity and she capitalized off that opportunity. I believe too, you know, Madam C.J. Walker is often referenced, especially for Black women entrepreneurship, because there is a level of belief that you have to have in yourself when you are pursuing a career, you're pursuing business ideas that's never been done before, or maybe your business idea is saturated with other people that are doing what you're doing. And so many times it can become very disappointing to see where you fit in the grand scope of things. But we have to remember that if we have an idea to present to the world, that nobody can do it like we do it. Nobody has the sauce, nobody has the flavor that we bring to what we do. And we have to be willing to step out there and do it. And so as I was watching, you know, the series, I just saw that her willingness to never accept no as an answer. I thought to myself, well, geez, I don't know if I could have kept doing what, you know, she was doing, because again, what she was doing was just unheard of at that time. But I'm also inspired by the fact that, by this simple quote here, that I said at the beginning, is my object in life is not simply to make money for myself or to spend it on myself in dressing or running around in an automobile, but I love to use a part of what I make in trying to help others. That is just awesome. I think a lot of times in our culture, what we tend to see on social media world is, I'm not saying that certain influencers are not doing that, but we don't always get to see who's giving. And you know, of course, the Bible says to, you know, give in private, you know, that you may be honored in public. But I just love the idea of being able to stand for something greater than yourself and being able to see that your life is bigger than just your own. And really, at the end of the day, no matter what it is, are you really living? If life is all about you, is if it's all about just seeing how many, as they say, secure the bag, how much zeros you can have in your bank account if you're not really helping others, you know what I mean? So I love the fact that she was able to rise to a level of notoriety and influence and not forget to turn around and help others. And this is what we can take from Madam C.J. Walker's life. Our next queen is none other than Florence Flo-Jo Griffith. And here are some just quick facts of Florence Flo-Jo Griffith. She was born on December 21st, 1959, and she died September 21st, 1998, at just the young age of 38 years old. She was a track and field athlete, and her nickname was Flo-Jo. She was the world record as fastest woman of all time. No one has broken this record. And the quote that she used is, "Conventional is not for me. I like things that are uniquely Flo. I like being different." Florence Griffith-Joyner began running track at the age of 7, and her gift for speed soon became apparent. Showing an early interest in fashion, Joyner persuaded members of the track member to wear tights with their uniforms. She attended California State University at Northridge, but Joyner had to drop out to support her family, taking a job as a bank teller. Her track coach found financial aid for her, and she returned to college in 1980, this time at UCLA. And in 1983, she graduated with a bachelor's degree in psychology. After the 1988 Olympics, Joyner retired from competition. Suspicions soon arose regarding how the so-called world's fastest woman achieved her victories. Joyner and her coach, Bob Kersee, came under media speculation when another athlete suggested that Joyner had used performance-enhancing drugs. Some attributed the substantial improvements Joyner made in her performance levels from 1984 to 1988 to illegal substances. Others thought that her incredibly muscular physique had to have been created with the help of performance-enhancing drugs. Rumors also spread regarding Kersey's training techniques, suggesting that he could have been encouraging his runners to use steroids or other drugs in order to win medals. Joyner also insisted that she never used performance enhancers and she never failed a drug test. In fact, according to CNN, Joyner took and passed 11 drug tests in 1988 alone. While competing, Joyner was known for her bold fashion choices. She appeared at the World Championships in 1987 in Rome wearing a hooded speed skating bodysuit. In April 1988, she started wearing a running suit with the right leg of the suit extending to the ankle and the left leg of the suit cut off, a style she called the one-legger. The running suits also had bold colors such as lime green or purple with white bikini bottoms and embellished with lightning bolts. She became a popular pop culture icon when she brought style to track and field with form-fitting bodysuits, 6-inch fingernails, and her amazing speed. She still holds the world records that she set in 1988 for both the 100 and 200-meter events. In spite of nearly 30 years since her passing, female sprinters have not been able to come near her mark. That says a lot. Although many sprinters avoided accessories which might slow them down, Joyner kept her hair long and wore jewelry while competing. She designed many of her outfits herself and preferred looks which were not conventional. She was inducted in 1995, and also in 2000, the 102nd Street School in Los Angeles was renamed Florence Griffith-Joyner Elementary School. Griffith-Joyner had attended the school as a child. The city of Mission Viejo dedicated a park at the entrance to her neighborhood in her honor. So let's look at this. So when we think, I love to break down words. And when we think about quote that she said about conventional is not for me. So when we break down this word and understand the meaning of the word conventional, uh, it means this. Conventional means concerned with what is generally held to be acceptable at the expense of individuality and sincerity, following traditional forms and genre. So she did something at that time that had never been done before. Who would have thought that you could bring a level of fashion element to sports? Everyone had a traditional look when it came to sports and the outfits that were worn. But she was willing to take that risk, and she did take that risk. And this is what it means to be a trendsetter, to go against the grain, because it was then something that she did over 30 years ago that made an impact on tennis star Serena Williams. And this is what she said. She said, "I was inspired by Flo-Jo, who was a wonderful track athlete, amazing athlete when I was growing up. Watching her fashion, just always changing, her outfits were always amazing." And Serena was also known to do the one-legger when she was playing tennis and paying homage to Florence Griffith-Joyner. And so these are the things that happens when we dare to be who we are. When we dare to be us, we literally leave a light for others to follow. You never know like what your life is going, how it's going to impact people. And that's what I love so much about reading this story. And as a little girl, I remember Flo-Jo. She made watching track and field fun and exciting because it was all about what she was going to have on. And if you know me, you know that I'm a wardrobe stylist, so it's always all about, the clothes and being different and being edgy and whatnot. And that's what I'm known for. I like to kind of push the envelope a little bit when it comes to even my on my own way and how I show up in the world. It's like, how far can I go? Let me push this a little bit. And that is how, trends are born. You know, Oftentimes, like when I'm styling people and they say, well, I've never seen that before. Nobody's wearing that. Ding, 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 ding. That always just hits me so good because I'm like, no, you don't want to look like what everybody else is doing. This is what trendsetters do. They start a trend and then other people follow and say, I've never would have put that together. Let me do this. So this is what I really, really, really liked about reading and following her life and the work ethic that she had. She was so disciplined. Um, I used to run track when I was in high school. And although I did not get very far in my track and field career, but I can tell you that track is very much a mental sport. It is very much a mental sport. You are not only are you competing against others, but you are also competing against yourself. And it's a level of discipline that you have within yourself that even though you may have even outside elements that are fighting against you and inside elements of fighting against you, it's like, who am I going to be? Who am I going to become? And I think about that even like with all of the things that have been happening this week with the weather and all of these things. Who will I stand up to be in the midst of a crisis, in the midst of a time where everybody else is like, you know, are you going to stand there and be in the sauce with everybody else falling and cracking apart, or are you going to retreat to a quiet place, get instructions, and emerge? Okay, this is how we're going to do this. This is how we're going to lead. And so again, I have really enjoyed doing this series where, like I said, we're three segments in, and I have just been so impacted in such a way I did not think that I would be. And it's been a journey, and so I just want to encourage everyone tonight, no matter where you are in your journey. I hope that the lives and the story that I just read with Madam C.J. Walker and Florence Flo-Jo Griffith-Joyner have definitely made an impact in your life, and even you might get something out of it and see something totally different than me than what I just shared tonight, an attribute that you think, oh, that's something that I can take with me, because that's really what it's about. We're not here to just make a lot of money, you guys, although that's great. Money certainly does allow us an opportunity to be able to do things that we probably wouldn't ordinarily be able to do, but it's also an opportunity for us to reach back and make someone else's life better. It's also an opportunity for us to become a solution to someone else. And so I hope that with this series tonight, that the lives and the women that I am choosing to highlight, that it serves as a catalyst for you to be able to even see with your own life on how you can continue to move forward in adverse situations. Because listen, we are living in times that are full of chaos and conflict, and we have to be able to maneuver through the chaos and establish order out of disorder. So I hope that is um, what this will do tonight. Again, I thank you so much for tuning in tonight to In Light of the Queen, a Black History Month series. I will be back next week, same time, same place. And if you've enjoyed this series, please feel free to share it on your pages. Please feel free to tell someone else, okay, don't keep all this yummy goodness to yourself. Don't keep this yummy goodness to yourself. Be a light to other queens and let them know, hey, come on over here, because this is what it's about for me. This is about empowerment. It's about offering life changing information and also challenging us to grow. Like, we're not here to stay stuck. We're not here to be mediocre. We're here to be great. And so if that's you and that's you feel like that's a lane that you want to run in, come on over. I'd love to have you. And so again, thank you guys tonight. Again, I am Tiffany Devon and I am a certified life coach, wardrobe stylist, and I style leaders and influencers in fearless fashions. Come back here next week, Silhouette of a Queen, in light of the Queen, a Black History Month series where I will wrap up with the fourth segment. You guys have a good night.